Hi, I'm Scott,
And I'm Andrew, and thank you for joining us for Hebrews Podcast
where we talk about our personal experiences being dads in the day-to-day life of raising kids.
and coffee.
Lots of
Lots of coffee.
Lots of coffee.
Well, good morning, everybody.
Good morning,
It is
Mr. You.
Episode 16.
That is amazing.
It is.
We're still doing it.
We were just talking about it a little bit, but it is crazy to think about. It's been 16 whole weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
A lot of coffee.
A lot of coffee.
Lots of coffee.
Lots of conversations. Lots of good times.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
Oh, sure.
And here we are.
Here we are. Who would have
Still
thought?
kicking.
Couple of guys.
Couple of But no, seriously, thank you for joining us. It's been a lot of fun. We're super excited that you're here.
Yep.
Whether you're watching on YouTube or you're listening on Spotify, just know that we've got both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Drop it down in the comments on YouTube if you're listening there.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you're not subscribed to YouTube, we'd love to see you around more often. We do this every week. 5 a.m. It goes up in the morning, but you don't have to watch Thursday at 5 a.m., but you
I ain't
can.
awake. You don't have to be.
No, I've been awake sometimes, and I think I've said this before. Is if I'm awake at that time in the morning, I put on the podcast just to listen to make sure YouTube put it up successfully.
Yeah, unlike last week.
Unlike last week where I didn't figure that out.
Sometimes technology.
But we got it up safe and sound last
Yeah.
week, so don't forget to go watch that one. It was a great episode. One of my favorites, for sure. I have about 15 other favorites, just so we know.
Just like you have 3 favorite kids.
I have one.
Not I have one.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, but thank you for tuning in. And if you didn't know, we have an Instagram and we have a Facebook.
And Facebook.
So check them out, The Hebrews Podcast. And I think the Facebook is just Hebrews Podcast.
Hebrews Podcast.
You
it's
can
got our
find it
logo,
there.
so it's easy to see.
Yep.
This logo right
check
here.
them out.
Yep.
And the awesome hats that someone
Just
pretty
ordered
cool
on the
guy.
internet. It's pretty easy. The internet's full of things you can get.
Shh. Take the credit.
I invented this hat.
You
stitched it with my fingers.
I love how
fingers.
we both just went there. Oh my goodness. No, we are super thankful that you're here with us. It's been an awesome ride and we're excited.
Yeah.
So, before we get into our weeks, let's do our dad jokes real quick.
All right, that sounds great. Dad
So-
jokes.
Why do cows wear bells?
Why?
Because their horns don't work.
Their horns don't work. All right, so as we all know, dads are funny.
Yeah?
We're funny people. And sometimes we're a little less appropriate than we ought to be.
Heck.
So I've got a joke today that it might make you say, oh, Scott, that was too far. But it's not. I guarantee it's not. So Pastor Andrew, he's got my blessing, I think, on this one. Why do chicken not wear underwear?
I don't know, Scott, why?
I think you know. Because their peckers are on their face.
Oh, I can't. Oh, my God. All right. Well, it's out there.
There it is. Dad joke of the day.
That one got me good.
As you can tell here, guys,
We got
have
coffee.
we have our coffee down here. If you can't see it, that's because you're listening to Spotify.
And we've got some
We've got another
caramel
delicious treat.
cold brew M&Ms.
Ooh, it sounds delicious.
That I didn't open this time, so you can do your ASMR.
We're gonna do a little ASMR
So
here.
we can do the ASMR. So get real close to your speak. There it is.
I wonder if that was good or not. I don't know.
I feel it had
The
to have been.
Oreo one.
It peaked.
It peaked.
It peaked.
Oh no. The Oreo one would have been way better, to be honest.
I
with you.
know. I'm kicking myself.
All right, so
for
here we
that.
go. Chocolate candies, M&Ms. You got the purple M&M. Is she controversial too, or is that the green one?
I think it was a.
I have no idea. I remember the Fox guy got in trouble for an M&M.
Wait, what?
I'm not going to bring in politics or anything, but
Oh,
it was the newscaster on Fox who recently got let go by Fox.
I didn't see it. I just
Not Carson.
I didn't hear about it. I heard that there was somebody from
Anyway,
Fox that got.
he
anyways.
was talking about an M&M. I don't pay attention to all that stuff. I just know he got in trouble by one side or another about M&Ms.
Oh my
So here we go.
goodness.
This is coffee, cold brew coffee, caramel cold brew.
And we have.
Oh, a latte down here.
Yeah, which latte? You made this one.
I made this one. Yep. The bean was called Milk Money, which I thought was funny.
Sounds delicious.
Funny Milk Money. It's supposed to be like sweeter caramel and sweet cream. I think
this is gonna go really good with.
I
the
know, right?
caramel
I'm gonna
cold
take a sip of
brews.
coffee.
I'm excited for this. That is good.
Mm-hmm. I like
That's really good. And we have no flavoring this one.
Nope, just pure coffee.
We were
'cause
like,
we're,
hey,
we're
this
eating
one.
sugared M&Ms, so we're like,
Yeah.
we're not gonna put other sugar in it.
Yeah, this. Oh, I can't do this.
Oh yeah. Grab an M&M or two here.
So I said I can't do this because it's part of my week.
Oh no!
Oh my goodness.
Is it falling out over there?
No, it just feels really, really weird. So I've had a dead tooth. Little not trigger warning, but warning for people because so I went. Oh my goodness, 2016, 17. Oh, in 2017, I was. I played baseball at North Central. I just graduated. I got to try one of these first.
Oh, they're good.
Oh. Those are better than the peanut M&Ms.
Oh, definitely.
And I love peanut M&Ms.
Me too.
New favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be snacking on those the whole episode. So 2017, I played baseball at North Central. Go through the whole season, no injuries, nothing. Come home that summer after I graduate for church softball practice.
Yeah. Practice.
Oh
no.
And we were playing on a field that wasn't groomed. It was a whatever. It was like hilly, and as you know,
Oh yeah.
it's unpredictable.
Yeah.
And there are no bases. So I was like, well, this looks about right for playing shortstop. And I'm not incredible, but I'm decent.
Sure.
Like I can stop the ball.
You did.
And yeah, I stopped it all right. Yeah, I took a ground ball and I was ready for it. And if you know baseball, it took a really nasty candy hop. Like I'm literally like I'm going down to field it. And if you're fielding properly, your face is down with your glove, not like
no,
but you watch the ball into your glove.
Yep, you get your body in front of it in case it takes a hop.
And it took a hop. And I was chewing gum.
Oh.
And I spit something out because I thought, like, it hit me in the mouth. And, of course, it hurt like crazy. And I was chewing my gum, and I was like, man, that really hurt. And I spit something out, and it was a chunk of the ball. It destroyed it literally hit my tooth that hard. And I had a fat lip. To this day, I still have, like, the scar tissue on my lip. It was bad. But anyways, I go to the dentist. They said it was fine. I went to
You're okay.
Yeah, they tried to adjust it, and it kept popping up. Like they adjusted it with braces. Anyways, my tooth is dead. I go to the dentist a month ago, and they're like, hey, we need you're going to have to pull this tooth. 2 nights ago, I'm playing with Rylan, literally tickling him. And if you know anything about kids, when you tickle them, they flail and they go nuts. And he throws his head back, and he hits my jaw and pushes my jaw back and breaks the tooth.
Ooh.
So my tooth is loose. Like when I'm talking, when my tongue hits it, like when you're a kid and you're losing a tooth and you can move it with your tongue. Yeah, that's what's going. It doesn't.
Oh man.
So sorry, but so I have to get it drilled out, and
I got a drill over here.
I was telling Pastor Mark, I was like, I can't do this because I was calling around places it was last night. What am I doing? It was last night that he did this. Not he did this. I don't blame him.
He did this to me.
I jokingly say, like,
what
when I
have you
hold
done?
him today, I was like, don't break another one of my teeth, buddy. But I don't hold him. I don't hold against him or anything.
When he's older, you will.
Oh, yeah. I'll be like, you busted my tooth, dude. Here's it. Bah! No, I'm just kidding. I will never. Anyways. But I was calling a bunch of places this morning. I was like, I got to get this fixed because there's no way I can, like, I have to figure out what to do. And I called the first place. They're booking out to August. Called the second place. August. Called the place that they sent my referral to at my dentist.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, yeah, the soonest we can get you in is July 30th or the first week of, or June 30th or the first week of July. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't wait that long with this wiggly tooth.
Sure.
So I called my dentist, and they're going to drill it out. Sorry. They're going to drill it out and just leave it. So I'm going to have summer teeth.
Summer teeth.
For the summer, I'm gonna have summer teeth for 2 months, and I can even tell a difference in how I'm talking right now.
Yeah,
just a little bit because of how it feels, and I've been really cautious today of like trying. Anyways, so that's been my week. I was
that was
alone,
it. Just one.
Home Alone with Rylan for the weekend.
Nice. You guys have some guy time?
Yeah.
Watch some James Bond or something.
Not James. We watched Outdoor Boys.
Outdoor
Rylan
Boys?
actually really likes watching them,
There
and
you
I
go.
like watching them. It's this dad and his sons who go out and do outdoor stuff.
Would have never guessed.
Yeah. So we were home alone this weekend. Lainey was out visiting family. Her grandpa's not doing well, and
Yeah.
she'll be going up there again this weekend. And so Rylan and I will be hanging out again so that she can spend time with her family. And it would just be like, I want to be able to go up, but it'd be difficult. Like one of us would be back with Rylan because he can't be in the hospital with us 24/7. So it's like, I don't want to burden her with that. I'll just stay home
With the kid. That's a great idea.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my week has been. It's been good. Like it's not it's super sad, with what's going on with Lainey's grandpa, and then obviously my tooth kind of sucks. But it's been a, all things considered, a okay week. What about you?
Let's see. I don't have any idea what I did this week. It's just all escaped me. I was trying to pay attention to you, and I was like, what am I going to talk about? And I can't think of it. All right, let's just walk backwards here. Yesterday
was Sunday.
Yep, spoilers. It's Monday night.
Spoilers.
Sunday, I had my parents over, and I smoked up some ribs on the smoker, and I also made this delicious street corn dip.
This corn dip looks so good.
It was really good. I sent you. It was delicious. Very, very good. Corn dip. So did that Sunday. That was great. Saturday was the day before Sunday. Saturday.
We're learning.
I think I did something Saturday. I don't know.
The weather's been crummy.
The weather's been wild. Okay, so today it snowed. Welcome to May in Wisconsin. It snowed, and the weather said 1 to 2 inches, and I was really worried about that, to be honest with you. And then it's all gone. You can't even tell it was here.
Mm-hmm.
Which is how it goes in May, I guess. Who would have thought? But the weather has been, it's been snowing on and off all week, really, in weird spots in the day. I have a little bit of a cold. That was fun. I think that the change of weather might have sprung that into action.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's so many people that, especially just the fluctuation of last week, it was fairly nice.
Yeah,
early in the week.
Yeah.
And then it's just dropped, and then with the barometric pressure or whatever. Ow.
Did you say ow?
Yeah, because it's the tooth that sticks up.
Oh, so you catch it with, okay,
yeah,
all right.
It feels great.
So also last week, I got to try out my new golf clubs. I got some new irons. For the first time in my life, I actually bought golf clubs. So that's exciting for me. I've always had this hand-me-down set that has been a mix-match. I think I had 2 7-irons, 2 6-irons.
3 wedges.
Both of them are different. They're all different sizes and different grips and stuff. And I finally shelled out for my birthday and got some nice irons. So I should play just as bad, but I can look a little bit better doing it.
But Bluebird is not going anywhere.
I have a 3-wood that is a classic
wood.
wood.
Oh, my goodness.
Stings the fingers.
When you don't hit it right, but because I used to play with woods.
Yeah, very satisfying.
Oh, yeah. But
And
the
they're
reason we love Bluebird so much is
she's broken.
literally
She's, destroyed.
completely broke around. There's
Yeah.
one screw
There's
that is literally holding it
That
all
screw
together.
is doing good work.
It is.
It is holding on tight.
And every time you swing it, I back up a little.
And seriously, one of these days it's going to smash into a million pieces.
And I'm
We're
going to cry.
I'm going to leave it right on the golf course and stick the shaft right there and say, R.I.P.
Here lies
Bluebird. Yeah, exactly. So
Oh.
it's going to be a good day and a sad day. I'm going to cry, especially if I get some of that wood in my face.
Yeah.
So those are really good. I enjoy them.
Yeah.
But they have that consistency that always makes the back of my throat a little sticky. You know
That's
what
why
I mean?
I gagged a little.
And I saw you do that, and I was like, that's why I ate 2 and stopped. I was coughing over there a bit because of my cold, but also because of that. I was like, I might eat some more later, but I have to talk a little bit here into a microphone, and I don't want that to hinder me. Because it's delicious. I would eat more.
Oh, they're delicious. Sorry.
You'd better be. So let's see. What else? Any other news? Any updates? How's your knife coming along?
It's on a pause right now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I've been working on some side projects. And some
machetes.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll get it done. I was sanding the handle last week, or no, on yesterday. Oh my goodness, there's a lot that happened, and I stabbed myself in the hand
with the knife.
Kind of cool. Yeah, yeah, and luckily there's a bone there. Otherwise, I would have needed to go to the ER.
What, you got straight through?
Yeah, like I felt it hit the bone, and
wow, you are having a great weekend.
Yeah. Well, it's
Lots
right
of
on
good
my
time.
finger, so it's right on the knuckle. But yeah,
Yeah, it doesn't hurt there for sure.
I mean it hurt, but yeah. Anyways,
Yeah. All right. So
there will be a picture of my knife. I promise. I'm just working on it very slowly.
We talked about a song like 4 or 5 episodes ago, which is like a month ago.
Yeah.
We have done a whole lot of work on that, and we are almost ready. And the Spotify listeners aren't going to understand what's happening.
Nope.
we haven't touched it at all. We've
Yeah.
got the words. We've got a chord progression.
It's just been
We sang it
crazy.
through one night. It sounded fun, and we're like, "Yeah, let's do it." And
Yeah.
we have not. So
Episode 20.
episode 20. we'll
Episode
have
20.
a wingding. Maybe the prelude, the build up to episode 20. You want to watch? It's going to be special.
We're just gonna say that you'll want to watch.
Sure.
It's gonna be good. I feel like we say that a lot, but it really is gonna be good.
Yeah,
it's gonna be fun.
we do have a lot planned for that one. We say we have a lot planned, but it's not. It's mostly that one that's planned.
Yes. So
Anyway, so what's our topic today?
So our topic today is not first time, but tips for first time dads. Or
So you're expecting? Not
no,
you, not you.
No,
No, not Andrew.
No,
Because it's first time dads. So you're expecting, and we're gonna give you advice. This is usually what we steer clear of.
Well, no. This is not like advice, but more like, hey, this is what I learned. Almost like bringing your kid home for the first time, like just a couple key things that you learned.
Maybe some experiences from our first child.
Excuse me, or your third, because I'm sure there's a lot that you've gained from that first couple days.
Sure.
Of bringing baby home.
The third one was a lot more
world.
experienced. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like as parents, we were a lot more experienced bringing a baby home.
Yeah. We're not looking to give advice. If you take some of our
you
stuff,
can take
and
advice, sure, but don't blame us if it goes wrong.
Right.
If you're stealing a baby, that's not what we told you to do.
No, absolutely not. But we could give a few tips.
Sure. We're experienced enough in it. You only have to go through it once to be a first-time dad.
Yeah, and then you kind of learn the gist of things, and I feel like that's one of the first things that I learned. Is there are books and there are things, but there's also a lot that gets thrown at you as parents, really.
Yeah.
Like not just dads. And there is a very, very real difference between the mother role and the father role, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't have the plumbing. But there is also stuff that in my, and I'm sure with you and Nina as well, it's like, I felt bad. So I was trying to do extra because Lainey is the one that has to make sure that Rylan is fed every 3 hours. So I would try to do whatever I could to try to help out.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to kind of what I was saying is that as a first time dad, it's there's so much that gets thrown at you. It's you're going to be exhausted. You're going to want coffee constantly.
Yeah.
But or if you don't drink coffee, well, we'll pray for you.
Sure. Definitely.
But yeah, just the understanding that you're not going to know exactly what to do every single time and being okay with it.
Yeah.
That was one thing that I know, because I'm a fixer, I'm a doer. And there are things that my kid's crying.
I'm a hearer only. No, it's not true. It's a Bible joke right there.
Yeah. I was my kid's crying. And I changed his butt. He ate. So now what? It's sometimes they just want to scream and cry until you cuddle them or swaddle them, whatever. But just learning to be okay with the growth that takes place as a first-time dad. That was one big thing that I learned. So
sure. I'm going to start with a little story of my first time being a dad. It was back in 2015, January, so as far back as you can go. We went into the hospital at 11 at night, 10:30. It was a snowstorm, and my car was two-wheel drive, and we almost didn't make it up the hill to the hospital.
Oh, my goodness.
Like, the car was like almost at a dead stop, like, going slowly up a hill. It was terrifying because I was already, like, in shock.
Yeah.
You know, like, you're not scared, but you're like, all right, it's time, but I don't know what to do. Am I doing it right? Or...
Like the classic movie scene, it's literally like what pounds through your head.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was like, am I going to have a baby in a car? My wife is assuring me that, no, the baby doesn't come out that fast. It's not going to be. So
that's baby number 3 and 4.
Maybe. Maybe. So at the hospital, after we got everything set up, you know, she's all taken care of. And we're just playing the waiting game, which is, I love my wife and I love my children. The waiting game is the most boring game I've played in my life. And I had to sit in the hospital room. And so at a certain point in the first one, Nina got an epidural, and then everything slowed down to like a stop, and she got to rest, which was great because she needed some sleep. But I'm one of those people that can't sleep when something's happening. And I was like wide awake. So I just sat there on my phone and I watched, there's a TV show called Chuck. And I watched like a whole season of Chuck on the very uncomfortable sleeping, living arrangements that they have.
They are quite lovely.
No, you have to lie to your wife about that. You don't have to lie to me about that. It's not comfortable, no matter what you do in there. So basically, it's just waiting. It was really boring, and it all happened so fast. It was like, all right, it's starting. Bam. It's been like, what, 8 years? Now here we are. I was really trying to do the math when I looked at my watch. Nothing happened on my watch. Literally, like, I don't even know what happened after that.
Yeah.
It was so fast. And then there was a little tiny human. She came out screaming very loudly, and we're like, she's alive.
Yeah.
You know, like, the nurse, they're always waiting for, like, that first cry to make sure everything's working okay.
Right.
And then... And it was like, all right, she's definitely okay because she's screaming bloody murder. Everyone's hearing this.
Yeah.
It was amazing and very stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, all I could think about was I'm tired. I'm cranky. I didn't sleep. That was my fault. and my life had changed. It was drastic, and it was that I didn't realize it, and it was just like starting to build from there. Anyway, the question is tips and tricks. Don't complain as a dad about the seats or about anything in the hospital. You don't have anything to complain about. Everything is perfect, and it is great.
Yeah.
So
yeah, my poor wife went through a lot. Yeah, those of you that either have knowledge of the medical field or experience magnesium in birth is not fun. And I say it's not fun, and I have no clue as to what it looks like or what it actually feels like, but I have a clue to what it looks like. Yeah, it was not.
We don't have to go too deep into what things look like.
No.
No, I know. I'm being silly. Sorry.
No, but one thing that, like, I don't know if you experienced this. I'm sure you did to some degree, but like I remember the very first moment, like as soon as Rylan came out, like there was this weird switch. Like,
did you hold on real quick? Did you cry your eyes out?
I cried a little.
I cried a ton for all of my kids, and it was like the culmination of I'm so tired to I'm so pent up of emotions.
Yeah,
and it's like it happened. Everyone's okay. We're here, and it's like it all just came out.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going with you.
No.
I assumed that's not where you were going.
No. Yeah. So after the first little cry, I was hugging Lainey, and then all of a sudden I was like super freaked out because I was like, where did he go? Like, because it's nobody they don't prepare you for stuff like it didn't.
You don't want to watch what they do to him.
Yeah,
and that's kind of a joke. It's kind of really not.
No, seriously. Like
they're not gentle. Like they've handled babies. They know that babies are resilient.
Right.
The first time I picked up Emily was almost like a whole day after she was born. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I was like, I don't need to hold her. You keep holding her. And it was like I was scared to hold her because I was worried about how to hold her the right way or how to. And like these nurses, it's exaggeration, but it looks like they just pick
Yeah,
them up by the
by
ankle
the
and
ankle,
drag
yep.
them out of the room. It's like, here we go, baby, let's do this.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So the nurse is like, you're not gonna break her, just pick her up.
Yeah.
I was like, what if I do break her?
It's so crazy how our minds, like any other, I shouldn't say any other kid, but most other babies, if like I have permission to hold them from mother or whatever,
Sure.
when they're that young, it's like I just kind of pick them up and hold them.
Yeah.
But I remember being like,
Well, see, that's a little different between me and you because you had younger siblings, and I assume that they were.
I was real little. I would have
Okay.
been
So no.
6.
All right.
Yeah.
Never mind then.
So
Because I never had interactions with babies. I had my nephews, which I guess I actually did hold them when they were that little. So
I got to hold my nephews when they were, I mean, they were preemies. They were like
Ooh.
tiny.
Mm-hmm.
But it's different when it's like, not that I wasn't careful with any other babies,
Sure.
but there's that almost extra level of concern that's normal. Like it's your own flesh and blood. Like it's your kid. And that kind of plays into the whole learning aspect too. But I'm trying to think of another tip or trick.
Another one is make sure that you're ready to leave the hospital with a baby.
Yeah.
When they, like nowadays they make you test the car seat and everything before they dismiss you or discharge you. Excuse me. Make sure you have all that stuff set up. You don't want to be messing with that like the morning or the afternoon. We're like, all right, let's get discharged. And like, oh no, got to do this.
Right.
But also be emotionally prepared to walk out of a hospital instead of just you and your wife and your baby.
Yeah.
Because we were sitting at, we were waiting for somebody at like the very end. We were sitting at the door, and it was just us three sitting there, me, Nina, and Emily.
It's
And it was like, this is our kid. I have to.
Yeah.
I literally felt like I was stealing somebody's baby and just
Right.
walking out of the hospital with somebody else's kid.
It's
I was
so
like,
weird.
I
But also
don't
so
get
cool.
it. It was very cool and very stressful driving home.
Yep. I couldn't tell you how many times. Like, and I'm a pretty, like, I don't look around a lot, but I try to keep my eyes on the road. But literally, it was so hard not to look in the mirror, to look at the other mirror.
I got a question
to
for
look
you.
down
How do you
at it.
drive nowadays with Rylan in the car?
I'm still, like, pretty
You're
cautious.
still pretty cautious?
Yeah.
Okay, wait till you have 3. Anyway, no. I'm obviously very cautious. I love my kids. We have safe vehicles that, honestly, the vehicles we buy are for them and their safety. And
Yeah.
I wish that I could have, like, a sweet sports car. I don't have a sports car.
But no, that is it's like a crazy cool feeling of just like, wait a minute. Like, not only are you super tired and your wife is crazy tired, like way more tired than we are, and exhausted.
And hopped up on drugs.
And,
Probably haven't gone on this
yeah.
yet.
Yeah. And then you're sitting there and you're like, this little life is ours. Like, it's so cool. It's not a doll. It's not anybody else's. It's like, now you get to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's super fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tips and tricks. Number
tricks.
3. The
Or-
poop doesn't smell bad in the beginning. It gets worse.
Oh, yeah.
It smells
It's
like
not
there's
bad.
like a weird sweet. Like, it doesn't smell sweet. Don't get me
Right.
wrong
'Cause
here.
it's like that.
But there's like a sweet.
mustardy, whatever. And it's, not
like
that
the
bad.
it's the milk smell poop. It's not bad.
Yeah.
Wait till they start eating like oatmeal. Yeah.
Well, actually, the first ones are what's the
Meconium.
yeah,
There's
that
the black goop that looks like a
Yeah,
symbiote from Spider-Man.
Talking about like the nurses, and
That's an
I
important thing to
freaked
get out. Oh no,
And I didn't
no,
know
no,
this.
It's very important.
I didn't know that. And
It's
Lainey,
really hard to scrape off their butt too. If you had to
it's
change
the
that, I don't know if you
worst.
had to or not.
Yeah, I
but-
did. And I was freaking out. I was like, Lainey, what is this? And Lainey knew because she's in the health
Yeah.
field.
Also, she's not you,
Yeah.
Mr. Ham.
Ham. Yeah, I knew it was coming. Anyways, and I was like, what is this? Is he okay? And Lainey's like, yeah, it's fine. Like, this is part of the deal. I was like, well, what'd your vlogger say about this? No. Just kidding. I love you, honey. I love the vlogs.
Does she watch vlogs about birthing?
She used to, like, literally. She still
You
does.
cannot make fun of her. I know how many golf videos me and you watch.
Shush up.
So,
no,
yeah,
but
the meconium is an important part to get out,
Yeah.
and it's gross and sticky.
and there's a lot to learn. Like, that kind of boils down to. There's a lot to learn when it comes to being a first-time parent.
Another thing, another good tip is, as a first-time parent, don't be afraid to ask somebody else a question.
Yes.
There's a lot of things. Babies are new to everybody, right? If you have a question, ask your doctor. They give you information all about that.
Yeah.
Call one of the nurses. There's hotlines and
or
ask a buddy who's gone through it. And if they say I don't know, then talk to your doctor
or talk to their wife.
Or talk to their wife So.
But yeah, that is a really good tip. Like ask questions, like because sometimes like not that the doctors and nurses intend to do this, but they just kind of go through the motions because they're doing what they're supposed to do. Number one, but even just stopping and asking, like, hey, what do you think about this? Or like, asking other people. Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah,
that's huge. But another huge tip is getting help where you can. Like my in-laws came into town for I can't remember how long, a week or two, and
nice.
And then they had to go back, and then my father-in-law and brother-in-law came. But it's just it's nice to have help, because there's so much that gets thrown at you, and there's so much that's of that pressure that's immediately put on our shoulders as parents, that it's like you feel like you have to do it all, and you in a sense you do. But in another sense, like asking for help. Like I remember listening to I can't remember what podcast it was. It wasn't the Hebrews.
Wasn't the Hebrews podcast.
But now it is.
Yep.
And they were talking about, it was two pastors talking. One of them was talking about, one of the best things that they did as a young dad was they were financially able to hire a nurse that was a night nurse. And because
on a pastor's salary,
I was like,
"Where's he preaching?"
But he was talking about how like that was one of the best things that they did was being able to, so that they could sleep most of the time, because then during the day, then they can refocus, and because there's a lot of the like I don't remember much.
I have nightmares still about Emily, our first one. Just being up all night, and I would read books to her. We read the entire Lord of the Rings trilogy. Honestly, like that's a lot of book.
Yeah,
like The Hobbit and all three of the Lord of the Rings books.
It's a lot of book.
She would just be awake in my arms watching me, and it was just like, all right, I'm gonna keep reading to you. If you fall asleep before I do, that's what happens.
And sometimes it's, I was very, very blessed with Rylan. Like. He would conk out, and after he drank his bottle, and you'd hold him in your arms. Man, it was we would have to wake him up to feed him. It was crazy. And we were like, "Is this normal?" And then finally, at I think it was like his 3-month appointment, his checkup, because we were at numerous appointments because he was they were worried about jaundice and all that. Which I learned a lot about that. Like I knew there's a little bit, but again, there's so much that you learn. But we were finally like, can we like let him sleep? And they were like, well, we would wait a little bit. And then finally they were like, yeah, he's at the wait now. Go ahead, just let him sleep.
Sure.
And that first night that we let him sleep, it was crazy how good you felt afterwards. Like I love Rylan to death, but it was also like crazy, like, oh, this is what sleep feels like again. But
with Emily, her first 2 weeks, she was under the failure to thrive warning. She didn't come back to the weight that you need to be at. And I'm sure if you're a new dad soon, they'll probably talk to you about this stuff. You need when the baby comes out, they're a certain weight, and they lose a lot of weight, a lot of percentage weight, not like pounds, but like a percent of 6 pounds. Is like point something. Anyway, you're supposed to be back to birth weight by a certain time, and Emily wasn't, and they were a little worried about it. So we were worried about it, of course, first time parents, and that added to stress. And then she was up all manner of the night, and it was fun, good times. But it's different for everybody. He just said his kid slept all the time. He still sleeps all the time.
Yeah, he does. Even like with Rylan, he was in the 3rd percentile when he was born. And they were the same thing, kind of worried about, his progression and all that. Now the kid's in, except for his height, he's in the above 90th percentile for everything.
And his brain function, I've seen him hit his head against the wall a couple times.
And my chin.
I love him. He's so cute. He has perfect brain function. Yeah. Everyone, he's a great kid.
Tips and tricks. Learn this move right here. The arm. Did you ever do that? I feel like I probably shouldn't tell that. falling asleep with Ryland in the arms like this, with a pillow underneath your elbows,
Why do you have a pillow underneath your elbows?
so that he doesn't roll anywhere.
Wait, your arms are over him?
No, he's in the crook,
Oh.
and then you support, and then you can.
I don't think I ever fell asleep with Emily in my arms. It was my first kid.
I did.
The third
Lainey
kid,
has,
I don't think I've been awake older.
Lainey has pictures of me falling asleep with. I'll post it. I'll get it from Lainey. You can laugh at me along with the ham.
Hebrews _podcast.
It wasn't for long. It was like, I don't know, maybe.
Being a parent's tough.
10
I'm not
minutes.
judging on how tired you get.
No,
Everyone gets tired. You need your sleep. And that's another thing. They always tell you to sleep when the baby sleeps. That is a crock of poopy. I'm not going to go to sleep at 9 in the morning when I just woke up.
after only. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, try to get to sleep as much as you can, for sure. But
And being okay. I guess this is another tip or trick. Being okay with like the house being crazy.
mm-hmm. Have you seen my house?
Because when you're in that state of mind, and when you're like, I remember talking to Lainey about it, and like she was more concerned than I was because she's just more clean than I am. Like that's just how we are. And I remember talking to her, and we were concerned about, like, we haven't done this, we haven't done that, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we have a newborn.
Make sure you take care of him.
Right, like that becomes
everything
our
else
priority.
Yep.
Like the dog,
Wow.
Just kidding. Kinley still needed to go outside and eat. Well, maybe not eat because she's fat, but
She is not.
according
Stop.
to she's overweight apparently.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, tips and tricks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are a few. I can't really think of any other big ones. The biggest one.
Here's actually a great one right
Go
here.
ahead.
It's for a young kid. If they spit up a lot, Emily was a big spitter upper, and that's why we were about failure to thrive as well.
Mm-hmm.
Get 2 sets of bed sheets for their crib. Put one on, and then put a mattress pad over it, and then put another bed sheet on it. So if in the middle of the night they get sick and you have to change it instead of having to wash or pull out a new one, just take the top layer off, and then you got a whole brand clean new one.
That's a good idea because Rylan spit up a lot. Like,
Yep.
It was
Yeah. And instead of now, my kids are older and they get sick once in a while. You still have to wash their sheets. You're not going to do that at 8 years.
Right. Like you can't get away from washing the sheets and stuff.
Oh, you still have to wash them, but you don't have to wash it in like 2 in the morning.
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. That's a good. I like that one.
That's a
I
good
like
trick.
That one a lot.
A tip. Trick.
Yeah.
It's a trick.
Practice the swaddle too.
The swaddle
that's
is
a good
easy.
One. Well, to get it,
It's fun. I loved making them super tight in the little baby burrito.
Yeah. My favorite is as soon as you open them up, just instantly, just
whoop. Yeah, Eliza. I don't think I swaddled her ever. We had these like sleep sacks that she would be in.
Yep.
But I don't think she ever wanted to be swaddled. Emily always loved being swaddled. She'd sleep for hours when she was a little bit older. Just like put her in a swaddle. It's like nap time. Swaddle her up. She's like, I know what the deal is.
Yeah. Rylan still will sleep. Like he doesn't sleep like this all the time, but we'll constantly see him in the monitor with his arms like this in his hands or his hands together in his legs. And he's just hunched up, looking like a little inchworm. No,
I'm kidding.
Like it's so funny. And his butt's. We always knew when he was in like a deep sleep because when we let him, you're not supposed to let him roll on their stomach until a certain time, whatever.
Yeah.
And we knew he was in a deep sleep because he would sleep like an inchworm. Like he'd be sleeping on his knees,
his butt all the way up in the air.
Just straight, yeah.
Eliza does that too.
It's so. It's like they're destined for each
other.
But yeah, no. One of the biggest tips and helpful things that I know, like I will always tell people, is being okay with like the amount of knowledge that you're gonna learn, and then a lot of things that you don't know, and just rolling with it and trying to learn as much as you can, but understanding that, being a parent is you're never going to have all the answers. Sometimes you obviously will, but there's a lot that you learn by trying and doing and realizing, hey, maybe I shouldn't do this. Instead, do this. And that plays into a lot of aspects of being a dad. And
Is that like the Socratic method, the art of knowing that you know nothing, right there?
No, I didn't know that, but
Yeah.
Sure.
There you go. That's what being a dad is about. Literally, like, know that you don't know it,
and it's okay.
Yeah,
Like,
you'll learn.
Yeah. And do we sometimes have to put on a smile, like in an intense conversation, or I shouldn't say a smile in an intense conversation, but put on a face for our kids so that they can see like not like you're faking it, but like sometimes you genuinely don't know and you have to pretend like you know so that they feel comforted. And then try to think of an example to explain.
Yeah, I'm not catching on. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
I'm putting on a face right here.
Putting on
so
a
you
face.
feel comforted.
Thanks.
I guess I kind of understand what you're saying there.
Not in every situation,
No.
but at times where you're like, I really don't know. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is messed up. And sometimes there's a level of their understanding of it's time to let them know that, hey, Dad doesn't know. Dad doesn't have all the answers. I'm trying to figure this out too.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, I don't know how I got on that rabbit trail.
I don't know either.
Oh, goodness. Tips and tricks. I can't really think of any others. Can you think of any others? I mean, that bedsheet one.
The bedsheet one's a good trick.
That's a good one.
Definitely use that one.
That's a good one.
Um,
Pack extra clothes. I mean, that feels like a given.
Yeah, anywhere
but
you go, extra clothes.
yeah.
Anywhere. Because blowing out of a diaper,
It's
it's
common.
unpredictable and it's common.
And spitting up on themselves
Yep.
is very, very common.
We were at a museum once, and Emily, our firstborn, we were watching. It was the Creation Museum down in Kentucky. Yeah, we were there, and it was like the dark room with the stars above. I can't remember what they call those, and I still can't remember. I'm trying to think. Anyway,
My goodness.
it's like a globe kind of thing.
Yes.
There's a word for it.
There
Write it down in the
is.
comments. Anyway, it was pitch black and started to smell something and realized that Emily had blown out so bad it seeped through like 3 layers of Emily's clothes and got all over Nina's shirt.
Oh.
So Nina had to go change her. And then, of course, she didn't have... Okay, so here's where my trick is. Pack extra clothes for Mom, too. Because she had to buy a shirt from the gift shop at that museum
Oh, goodness.
because of the blowout. And you didn't want to walk around with poop on your shirt.
Nope. No, thank you.
No. Emily was 2 months old.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good amount of poop.
That's a good amount. That's the most poop ever.
That's
This is going to embarrass my daughter. She still has amazingly, freakishly large poops once in a while. It's great.
Ooh, all right.
Expect some picture. No.
No.
This is going off the rails.
We. Oh, goodness.
All right.
All right. I don't think I have any more tips.
So
or tricks.
tips. Don't complain about your comfort level in a hospital while your
Oh,
wife
yeah.
is giving birth to your child.
Nope. Be okay with not knowing everything.
Be okay with not knowing everything. Put an extra sheet over your bed sheet for your crib so that you can
Extra
just change
clothes.
one. Bring extra clothes everywhere.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you have your diaper bag when you leave the house, dads. Moms always remember. I don't know how. Like, all the time. I forget all the time. And 3 kids later, I still forget to bring a diaper bag out of the house.
At least the kids made it out.
The kids get out of the house sometimes. Don't forget the 3rd one in the house. She's the quietest one. Like, honestly, it's easy to forget a quiet kid.
Not even.
The loud ones, yeah. Okay, it got quiet all of a sudden, so they're out of the
Where
house.
are they at?
They're probably in the car, hopefully. So,
But yeah, honestly, I can't really think of any others. Those are some pretty good starter ones.
good list.
Good list.
If you have any other tips or tricks, leave them in the comments down below, or shoot us an email at thehebrewspodcast@gmail.com.
Or if you totally disagree, tell us.
Don't disagree though, because we did pretty good tips.
But only tips.
Yeah. And there were some tricks. A couple of tricks.
Some tricks, yeah.
Yeah, they're not just for kids. The rabbit tricks.
Yep, I know.
All right. I haven't had tricks in forever. Feed your kids sugar cereal. That's another tip. I love you, honey. I don't think I ever called Nina honey, by the way.
Oh, you did.
I just did.
All right.
So thank you so much for joining us today on this podcast.
You.
Come back next week and stay tuned for episode 20.
It's coming
We're
up quick.
hyping it up. It is coming up quick. 3 weeks away.
4 weeks
4 weeks
from
away. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time here at Hebrews Podcast.